Hey guys, Angie here with EIP. I'm here with Dara, my friend Dara, and we like to talk about all things female. So we're going to talk about endometriosis. Endometriosis is really an important topic because it affects so many women. About 1 in 10 women are affected by endometriosis. And the main symptom of endometriosis is this pain. So typically with your period, you'll have just a little bit of cramping, but severe period pain or pain that's somewhere else other than in your low pelvis, that can be related to endometriosis. And it can occur at any age during your reproductive life. So anytime from your early teens on up into your 50s. So let's talk about it. What is endometriosis? Endometriosis is really when some of the tissue of your uterus grows somewhere other than inside your uterus, and that can be anywhere. Rectum, bladder, you can have pain in your legs. You can have this tissue all throughout your abdomen, and it can cause some really severe symptoms that can be really debilitating, especially during that time of month. But besides pain, there's other things that are associated with endometriosis that you may not be aware of. And some of those include bladder issues. So having to urinate frequently, having painful voiding, that can be a problem. Bowel issues such as diarrhea or constipation, nausea, vomiting, headaches, the bloating, low-grade fever. They can have fatigue throughout their period in their cycle with this. But another thing to consider too is that sometimes this can affect their ability to have children and miscarry as well. So infertility and miscarriages can be a symptom of endometriosis. And it can be very debilitating for people. The true story is the only way to diagnose this is by actually doing surgery and opening you up to see if they find that tissue somewhere else in your body. And that's really not a great way to diagnose things. It's really invasive. But it is an immune issue. So it's an immune dysfunction that is really similar to such as lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, where your own body is not, the immune system is not working appropriately. A couple other things to consider too, there's a strong genetic link. So if mom or sister or grandma had this, you are more likely to have it. If you have it, your children are more likely to have it. So something to think about this as well. And then the fact that it goes hand in hand with digestive issues. So 90% of women with endometriosis do suffer from digestive issues, bowel symptoms. And when we consider digestive issues, we also need to consider the problems absorbing nutrients. And so things such as iron deficiency can be common in these women as well, because if you're not able to digest the protein and absorb the iron, and you're having heavy bleeding, you can be much more likely to have iron deficiencies. And then whenever there's digestive issues, there's issues related to leaky gut and that causing inflammation. There's a whole cycle of what this can lead to. And that's why it's really important to talk about this, because so many women suffer from it. And we don't want to ignore this. We want to address that group of women and see if we can offer some help and some hope for this. So one thing I do want to talk about, there is no known cure for this. A lot of women will actually end up having surgery to remove some of that tissue and really help free up adhesions. But Dara and I are going to talk a little bit about some things you can do at home to maybe decrease the symptoms and really help stabilize things. So Dara, what are some things that we can recommend for these women who are suffering so severely sometimes with this?
Well, it's going to come down to managing inflammation, and a lot of that is going to come down to diet. And I know that that is kind of it's frustrating a little bit because I know that that's hard. It's hard to be so aware of what you're eating all the time. But I guess it comes down to like you got to choose your hard. Would you rather, you know, cut things out and get serious about your diet, or would you rather have all that pain that's associated with this issue? And so, taking things out of your diet that are known for causing an inflammatory response in your body. I know we've said it many different times, but like milk, because of that intolerance to the casein protein, and wheat, having that wheat sensitivity or wheat intolerance that causes a lot of inflammation in your gut, which you just mentioned. We don't need any more issues. When we have, problems absorbing things such as nutrients, nutrient deficiencies, that's like the start of all diseases. And so if your body doesn't have what it needs, so limiting wheat, limiting, alcohol causes that inflammation all over your body. And it also inhibits your ability to produce glutathione, that master antioxidant. So that, as well as there are some grains that are very can be very inflammatory for different people. So following that, I know, Angie, you recommend that FODMAPs diet. So that recommends things like lentils. Don't do lentils. Don't do wheat. There's one other one, Angie, help me out. What is the...
Anything that's fermentable. So wheat, legumes, and some types of dairies, typically.
Yeah.
But
And
there's
eggs.
a whole
Eggs another
list.
one.
Oh, yeah. Eggs.
Sorry, eggs. Eggs is what I was thinking. But yeah, sometimes eggs can be a problem. Not for everyone, but again, this is very it's person dependent. So a lot of it is going to be figuring out what triggers you and doing that elimination style diet of taking these things out of your diet and then reintroducing them after, 8 weeks to 3 months and reintroducing them one by one. And I think it's supposed to be a week or even 2 weeks apart that you reintroduce these foods.
Yeah.
But really trying to get our bodies in this environment that is, anti-inflammatory. So, so some of those things, focusing on your lean meats, your healthy fats, vegetables, more colorful. We always say more colorful, the better. And then there's certain supplements you can take too to help with inflammation. I know like turmeric is one. Resveratrol is another. I think we'll always just say magnesium. That's always going to be one.
Always magnesium. That's always a big one.
Yeah. No matter what, magnesium for everyone.
Yes.
And I don't know if orthomolecular has anything that would be, helpful in this area.
They do. So, zinc, selenium are also really important. So there's something called thyroxine that's got a lot of those all mixed together. That could be very helpful for inflammation. It's got magnesium, you can add magnesium to that to really overall health of that all. There's lots of different supplements that can help with decreased inflammation.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what I take. It's kind of like a multivitamin from orthomolecular, but I really like it. It is the
Mitochord?
Yes. Yeah. Lots of good B vitamins in there because I know that also is very helpful in terms of
that's a great one.
Yeah.
One thing that can be helpful for endometriosis is progesterone. So bioidentical progesterone. So that's something that's by prescription only, but can be very helpful in helping with some of these symptoms of endometriosis. And then also low-dose naltrexone for any autoimmune issue. Hi, Nora. That can be helpful too. So anybody with an autoimmune issue, I do always recommend low-dose naltrexone. And that's something I'm hoping to get pharmacists on with me to talk about, but it's really, really been shown in multiple studies to really help calm down inflammation, help with pain, help with things such as even been studied in cancer and infertility, but definitely with like psoriasis and Hashimoto's and autoimmune issues. So low-dose naltrexone can be really good to be helpful for any autoimmune issue where you're really trying to calm down that your body's response is a bit out of control. So endometriosis, although there's no cure, there is help. And so really understanding how we can optimize our health during that time and decrease the inflammation can really decrease the symptoms associated with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for those of you who have endometriosis, we are here to help you as well. So if you want to talk to us about different things that can help you, progesterone, low-dose naltrexone, let us know. We're here to help you with that. But just know you are not alone, and there is some things that can be done to help you. So Definitely check us out at essentialinfusionsplus.com and let us know if there's anything we can help you out with. It's good talking to you, Dara and Nora.
Thank